Apologies, folks. Let's try to get it sorted here. We've got a good view of the board. Apologies for that. But we're live on YouTube. So we are now. So let's have a wee chuck and a wee chat. I'm just going to slightly move the camera a wee bit, to be fair, because the last time I done this, I was in the road. And if anybody's got any questions, whack them in the chat. I'll answer them as honestly and as quickly as I can. If anybody wants me to do any checkouts or anything like that, just drop them in. Nice wee ton. I'm still trying to teach myself how to get these stacking. They're landing the right way now. It's just a matter of getting it to work for me. Now somebody suggested a longer set of points. I may actually try that if I've got a set of darts out with a longer style of point. I actually think I do have a set of darts with a longer point, actually, now that I've mentioned that. What have we got? What have we got? They'll do. I've got a set of Matador Dart Customs. So I'll set them up just now with the stem flight I've been using. We'll see how we got on with them. Someone did suggest using a longer point may benefit with this stem flight. So I've got a 41mm point in these. Let's see how we go. And they definitely land flat. That is a good thing. But now just going to try and get used to the big jump. I mean, I've made a jump from 26mm points to 41. Regardless, they feel great. The grip on them is fantastic. Obviously, these new ones out, the True 95. Check them out on Twitter. That's Matador Darts. And I'll get them done ASAP. Now, I don't know if the longer points actually suit me for this, especially the way I grip. I'm gripping near the end of the dart rather than the front. So I'll go back to what I was using. At least with them, it was working a bit better. So we'll try again. I'm just getting my other device up here. And that way I've got access to comments. There we go. I've got the darts back on. Let's see how we go. See, the 26mm just seems to fly a wee bit straighter. Remember, the stacking it is all about technique and stuff like that. So ideally, you'd like to be able to stack them properly. So I mean, that, I know what happened to that second dart. I dragged it to the right upon release. The follow through is actually the hardest part for me to try and get right, because I do tend to twist my arm round about and try to stop it. but usually when I try and stop it, it gets worse, like so. And the fact I've got elbow injuries, shoulder injuries. We'll take that. That's an 85. So, has anybody got any questions they would like to ask? Hello, Patrick. How you doing? Been live for 6 minutes. Welcome into the 3 people who are watching. Thanks for being here. Right, let's just do some tons and checkouts just now. So we'll go with 61. This is part of my practice routine. That's a 3. There we go again from the top. It wasn't even a 3, it was a 19. Right, let's go again. Reset yourself, try again. So 61. 56. Which leaves 24. And that was a pull and a half. Right, so still 61. That's a 12. There's 61 there. Let's go a ton. And still do it as long as we get more than a ton. Can't do it now. But I'll keep going. Thanks everybody for being here. Greatly appreciated. I actually tried to go back to a standard flight the other day. And honestly, it just did not feel right at all after using these. Right, I'll try the ton once more. If I can't do it, we'll just do more checkouts. $140. So close to 180. I've yet to hit my first 180 on camera with this setup. I'll hit 2 away from the camera. So 62 checkout. Poor. That's what I wanted. A very poor second dart there from me. Apologies for that, folks. But as I've always said, I'm not the best player. I just enjoy playing darts. There's 6, that leaves 56. Tops. On the wire. Yeah, I know a lot of people are playing in summer leagues and stuff. How is everybody playing in the said leagues? What's everybody been up to? Darts wise? What darts do you throw? Just let me know. It's 62. I'll put this on Facebook and stuff. See if we can't get any more viewers in. There we go. Shared it on Facebook. Don't forget to say hello, folks. It is greatly appreciated. Right, I do believe we were in 62 actually before I started sharing it on Facebook and stuff like that. So let's do that. Check out what we're trying to do. 62. Poor man. I'm going to go 12 bill. Screw it. Can't hit the treble 10, so might as well try it a different way. There's a 12. Went for the bill. But one more attempt at 62, and then we'll go back to 61, which is a bit unfortunate. But 62, here we go. Hold it. I'm rushing that last dart. That's another thing I seem to do quite a lot, is I tend to rush on certain darts. Back to 61, like I said we were going to do. 48. Tops. Rattled it underneath. Just missed that double 9. Right. If anybody's got any questions, let me know. Don't know why I went 20s there. Honestly, my head is up my backside. 61. Why the bloody hell would that happen? Right, these obviously aren't working for me. Let's try a different dart, I suppose. Let's try the Gary Anderson Phase Freeze, 25 grams, so it's a wee bit heavier than what I'm used to. But 61. Can't even hit 4. We all have days like this, I'm pretty sure that we can't throw a dart to save ourselves. So 61. Just missed that tops. Get stuff all over the floor. I do apologise. I was letting me down. Right, I'm just going to try and warm up a bit here. Now let me know, actually, this is a question I've asked quite a lot of people recently. If you're, say, on like 114, I know a lot of people that tend to go single first, so say if you're on 114, you're going for the single, and you obviously don't hit it. But do you start on the single or do you start on the treble? So that leaves me 72. Obviously made a mess of it, but you get the idea. If you're on 114 or 112, would you start in the single or would you start in the treble? Let me know your favourite darts brand as well down below. Mine's at the moment is actually Unicorn. Been using quite a lot of Unicorn stuff. Right, I'm not going to get any better, so let's try these checkouts again. So 61. Now I'll get 3 attempts at each checkout, and then I'll go down 1 or up 1 if obviously I get it. So if I don't get the 61 in 3 attempts, I'll move down to 60. Basically a great way to practice your doubles. Can you hit the single 4, man? Right, last attempt. There's a... Right, down to 60. I'm normally a wee bit better than what I'm throwing, by the way. I'm just not playing very well. But 60, check out now. There we go. There's the 60. Back to 61. 26 left. And we got it. So we'll do a ton now. Or anything higher than a ton. And I get 3 attempts at a ton, or I need to move back to the checkout below. Right, so last attempt at this ton, and then it's back to that 61. I will eventually get past the 61, I swear. 5. Right, back to 61 then. I mean, I can appreciate this probably isn't the best kind of thing to watch on a live stream, but I'm here to throw some darts, talk anything darts, ask any questions, etc. So, 61. There's a 4. Just missed on that tops. Try again. Oh yeah. 42. Clearly checkouts isn't working for me very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do just random at the 20s or something, just to get my iron going. 81. And I suppose my biggest thing here is the fact that I've probably messed about with these flights a wee bit too long, and it is, and I messed with the throw a wee bit. Why is that? Oh. YouTube probably needs updated. Right. Granted, not one of those darts was going exactly where I was aiming for, but it is what it is, as they say. And bear with if there's any comments. I'm having a bit of tech issues here. I'm hoping I can get it sorted just now. The joys of only working within a mobile rather than laptops or PCs. Probably one of my biggest downfalls, to be fair, is the fact that I don't actually use your PCs or your laptops or any sort of devices like that. I mean, I probably should. But there's just part of me that doesn't want to go faffing about with doing stuff like that. Unfortunately. But anyway, let's try some checkouts given to me by the viewers. So if anybody wants to pop a checkout in, and I'll give it a few attempts. Right, we'll do this then. Let's say here. Right, 112. That's a kind of hard one, but we can go with it. So that's 97 left. I can at least try to leave a checkout there, but we'll keep going. Thanks everybody for coming in so far. I'm just doing a bit of a chuck in the chat, answering any questions you guys may have about darts in general or myself, Scottish Lad Darts channel. So just let me know. Can't get my darts going straight. I had a decent first visits of the day this morning as well. I just can't get going today. There we go. Tops. We're just above the tops, but that was a great attempt at 112 there, leaving us the tops. But we'll keep going. I'll try a different one. I'll try 109. Let me know in the comment, well, in the chat, what way you go for 109. There's a lot of people that I spoke to recently that go a lot of different ways, and it just confuses the life out of me. We've got the treble, I would have missed the double anyway. That was a fail. I don't know why I went but up to 20s there. And that's what I mean. There was people I know that were going for 20s and 109. If you hit a 5, you can still do it. But if you hit that 1, can't do nothing about it. That was unlucky. Just dipped below into the wrong treble. I hit the double 18 though. Right, let's just try and hit a 180 with these. I've yet to hit a cat on film, caught on camera 180 with these darts with this setup. So let's keep going. Let's try it. That was an 83. Although there's plenty of other darts I could probably use to do this, but I'm trying to stick to this one set. I'm just not sure about the stems and flights yet. As I said, I've said in my last TikTok live stream, my last YouTube one, I'm trying to teach myself how to stack. And these flights I'm using are absolutely ideal for it because they make the darts land a relatively decent angle and there's a lot more space so you can throw it round about it in comparison to using a standard flight. And if your dart lands like the first one there, gives you plenty of, well, for stacking obviously. For stacking purposes, you really want your dart to kind of land like that so you can build up on top of it, or if it lands above, you can stack it underneath, so overstack or understack. Phil Taylor was one of the best at this. Obviously, I am no Phil Taylor. I mean, if I was Phil Taylor, I would probably still be live streaming and doing what I do on YouTube. I'd just be doing it a lot less frequent. Right. You'd probably suggest the best stack of dart with would be a Phil Taylor dart. I mean, I've got the Phil Taylor Generation 9 here. Then I've got the other generations here. The Generation 9 was the first one that came to hand. And see, trying to stack with the Taylor setup, I just can't do it because it tends to just stick up the way rather than land flat like that last one did. Although they've got a nice feel to them. There's not a lot of grip on them, but they feel nice. And they seem to be flying straight, so I'll take that. But I've got plenty of other darts I could probably try with, but they just seem to be these ones that are the most comfortable. Someone else actually suggested throwing from the very front of the dart to do it. That just feels completely alien. Doesn't feel right at all. But we'll try it. It just messes with my natural release point, especially me being a rear gripper. Well, middle to rear gripper, I'm kind of towards the back end of that rather than right at the front. But I can see why they're saying you try and do it with front, because with the front grip, I'm getting a decent angle of entry. They're just not going where I want them to go. Right. I've got a couple of reviews coming up as well, to be fair. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last stream, but I have the Cosmo Mickey Manso Discovery label, 25 gram, 55 mil long, 6.6 millimeters wide. I'll give you a better detailed review on that very soon. And the Lee Zeng, which are a very colourful looking dart. So 22 gram, 45 millimeters long, and 7 millimeters wide. More predominantly for a rear gripper. Right, I'll be live until what time are we on, folks? I'll say about another 15 minutes. It is generally just for a chuck and a chat, but it doesn't seem there's a lot of people actually come in and said hello. But that is what it is. So what I'll maybe do is I'll go live on TikTok after I've been on here. But oh, we've got a wee question here. He likes it. When will I be stopping reviews? Reviews are generally a staple here on Scottish Lad Darts channel. It's what I'm most known for. But I will be doing, well, attempting to do other things as well as doing the reviews. That way it kind of expands the channel a little bit rather than being focused on just dart reviews. Hence why I'm doing these live streams. But once I've got proper tech, etc., that will make a huge difference. All right, Michael, how you doing, pal? So yeah, the reviews won't be stopping anytime soon. Obviously, I'm enjoying doing the reviews. I'm trying to do live streams and a few other bits just to kind of get a bit more out there. But we'll keep going with this just now. Yeah, you've been a member for 18 months, mate. It's greatly appreciated. There's a lot of people. There was a lot of people in the membership. There's not as many now, which is unfortunate. But I'm working on it. I'm trying to get more people to consider becoming members and join in member-only live streams and stuff. I want to get it to at least a minimum of 10 before I start doing that, though. I did watch the Modus Influencer event. It was a great watch, to be fair, Michael. It was great to see the darts referee get to the final. It was also great to see him that he's signed with Unicorn. Couldn't pick a brand for the darts referee, to be fair. Especially with his good friend Ashley Coleman signed with Unicorn. Kind of makes sense. Obviously, there's a wee bit of an announcement I'll say at the end of the live stream towards next Monday. But I'll obviously go on to that at the end. But yourself, Michael, you still throwing away? You still throwing your darts? I should have at least tried to catch that, I suppose. Good stuff, Michael. What are you throwing with these days? I can't remember what it was. Sorry guys, I thought the sound had went there. I think it did, to be fair. I'm going to change the microphone. So as I was saying I'm going to try and start going live on Facebook and stuff as well as YouTube and TikTok, if there's enough interest in that. Oh, 85. But as I was saying, I don't know if you've heard of the camera cutout. Let me know your first ever set of darts in the chat. My first set was Winmore Bobby George from Argos. Cost me 16 quid. Six people watching. Welcome in, everybody. Say hello if you like. Ask any questions. Give me some checkouts. I'll give them a go with this ridiculous looking setup I'm using. I mean, a lot of people would say it's ridiculous, but if you're trying to teach yourself how to stack a dart, I'd say it's the perfect setup for it. Maybe a longer point, but as of late I've been using a shorter point, so trying to do it with a longer point just doesn't seem to work. And they're very unforgiving, I have to say, this setup, because if there's anything slightly wrong when you throw slightly off, the darts will show you. Nice wee stack there. So I'm getting there slowly with the technique. I just need to keep consistent with my arm speed. And consistent with my grip. Can't let my grip slip down the dart or anything like that. And obviously a lot of guys you will know that I'm a great advocate for some of this other darts YouTubers. And recently Neil's Darts, one of the other Scottish darts YouTubers or content creators, they've recently signed with Bulls, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm absolutely delighted for him. So here's a good question for you actually. If you could have any darts content creator signed with any brand, do let me know. I mean, a lot of people are going to say the likes of, obviously, Charlie Murphy with Target, which is great for Target, I'll have to say. The Jack referee has recently signed with Unicorn, which is great for Unicorn and Jack, of course. What would be ideal actually is seeing the likes of Kurt from Matador, that's being signed with someone like Harrows or something like that, or Darts Review Channel. Darren, obviously, being sponsored by the likes of Winmore and Red Dragon. I mean, if I had to pick a brand to be signed for, it would be really hard to pick because I like all the brands basically as equal. I've always had a soft spot for Winmore, but that will never happen. I'll never be able to sign with Winmore. I'm not really good enough as in terms of a content creator or as a player, so I know that's just not going to happen. But I know Winmore did recently sponsor the Digital Darts online group, so you may know them as Attitude Darts. I've done a bit of work with them in the past. I've watched them build up from literally nothing right up until now, and it's been absolutely fantastic. Oh, I pulled that last one. On for the 180 there. I'm just trying to get a 180 with these before we wrap up the stream. Right. 6. I do have a phone call coming in. I just can't answer it because I'm doing a live stream. Right. But I'm going to give it another 5 minutes or so, and then I'm just going to go live it on TikTok because it doesn't seem to be picking up here on YouTube. So, granted, I'll get whatever watch time for folk watching as far as they have. It's greatly appreciated, folks. But I was expecting a bigger turnout. Well, obviously, it doesn't really bother me if no one comes to watch. I'm still going to stream regardless. So I wanted to chuck some darts live, try and get used to this live stream situation. Because I do hope to be going live a lot more often. So I'll give it another 5 minutes, folks. And then I'm going to go live elsewhere. But obviously, as I was saying about creators being sponsored, I mean, Darts Review channel would be ideal for Winmore Red Dragon, the quality he does for his YouTube stuff. Matador with Harrows and stuff, because they're both very popular and very underrated. I mean, the content that Matador Darts pushes out is absolutely fantastic every single time. He puts the time in, and you can tell he puts the time in. And you've got Mark from Love Darts, who obviously has his own brand of Love Darts, but he works alongside Darts Shopper, which is, again, fantastic for darts in general. Going for the Shanghai Falls there. But ideally, let me know who you would want as a content creator signed with whichever brand. I mean, there's the likes of Fulton Darts, I believe, who done a lot of work with Loxley. And he'd be ideal signing for Loxley, to be fair. I mean, Josh Pearson, who is an influencer over on Twitter, ideally you'd want him signed for Target. He has a big love for the likes of Stephen Bunton, which is obviously understandable. There is Congrod Darts, also over on Twitter, who is nice fella, very nice fella. Very emotionless, very much like a robot. He's got a very nice relationship with Kirk Bevins. Ideally, he'd be great to sign for the likes of Cosmo or even L-Style because he's set in his ways when it comes to barrels. But with L-Style stuff, he'd be phenomenal with it. There's people, obviously, Daniel Poole from Straight to the Point. It'd be great. He'd be a great signing for Mission, to be fair, especially the amount of coaching stuff he does. I know, obviously, they have Matthew Edgar, who does coaching and stuff as well. But there's Daniel Poole just does it slightly differently. He's had dartitis before, so he knows the ins and outs of dartitis. He knows the best kind of ways to help people. There's Dynamite Dave as well, obviously, on YouTube. He'd be an ideal signing for the likes of Datadart, perhaps, just simply because he's a nice guy. Datadart obviously do some nice darts, but it's classic with a touch of modern. A bit like this kind of way Dave likes his stuff. But I'm going to try and end this off with something decent here, so let's keep going. I'm going to end the stream in about a minute. Two very accurate darts with the first one. The third one just flicked it too much out of my hand. So this will be my final throw, folks. I'm going to end the stream at that, and I'll see you in the next one. I'll happily end the stream on a ton. So thanks everybody for taking the time to come in and watch the stream today. Hopefully next time I'll get a few more in, I'll be a bit more prepared, I'll get a lot more people involved. But thanks everybody for taking the time to watch the stream today. Stay safe out there, everybody. And of course, keep on darting.